Hello, you're kicking off the Saturday's edition of QPVN English News Bulletin. You're with Milinchi and here come the headlines. Vietnamese leaders pay tribute to former Lao President KHAMTAY SIPHANDONE. Vietnam and Burundi seek stronger friendship cooperation. Vietnam's FDI attraction has nearly $10.98 billion in the first quarter. Upon hearing the news that General KHAMTAY SIPHANDONE, former president of the Lao People's Revolutionary Party, former president, former prime minister, passed away, on April the 4th, a high-ranking delegation of the Vietnamese party and state, led by President Lương Cường, attended a memorial service in honor of General KHAMTAY SIPHANDONE and wrote funeral books at the Lao Embassy in Hanoi. Attending the delegation were head of Central Commission for Internal Affairs Funding Track, head of the Central Information Education and Mass Mobilization Commission Nguyễn Trọng Nghĩa, and head of the Central Policy and Strategy Committee Trần Lưu Quang. President Lương Cường expressed his deep condolences to the Lao People's Revolutionary Party, the Lao government and people for General KHAMTAY SIPHANDONE's passing, one of the pioneering leaders in the Lao Revolution. General KHAMTAY SIPHANDONE was a close friend of the party, state and people of Vietnam, always paying attention to and making great contributions to building, consolidating and developing the great friendship, special solidarity and comprehensive cooperation between Vietnam and Laos over the past time. Attending a memorial service in tribute of General KHAMTAY SIPHANDONE on the afternoon of April the 4th, the delegation of the Ministry of National Defense led by Senior Lieutenant General Trịnh Văn Quyết, Chairman of the General Political Department, showed condolences of General KHAMTAY SIPHANDONE's passing, a loyal, excellent and talented leader who devoted his whole life to the revolutionary cause, to the country, the people and the Lao People's Army. Through the Lao ambassador to Vietnam, Senior Lieutenant General Trịnh Văn Quyết sent deep condolences of the Ministry of National Defense and officers and soldiers of the Vietnam People's Army to the party, state, people, and the Lao People's Army, and believed that they could overcome all difficulties and challenges to contribute to national development. As invitation of Vietnamese President Lương Cường and his spouse, Burundi President Ndayishimiye and his spouse are making an official visit to Vietnam from April the 3rd to the 6th. On the morning of April the 4th, following a solemn official welcome ceremony at the presidential palace, President Lương Cường held talk with the Burundi President. The visit of President Ndayishimiye and the high-level delegation of the Republic of Burundi to Vietnam holds special significance, which coincides with the celebrations of the 50th anniversary of the Vietnam-Burundi diplomatic relations, April the 16th, 2025. President Lương Cường affirmed that Vietnam attaches importance to its relation with African nations, including Burundi, a long-time friend and supporter of Vietnam in both its fight for independence and its current nation-building efforts. The two leaders agreed to enhance high-level exchanges and strengthen political trust, as well as to effectively implement bilateral cooperation mechanisms to further increase bilateral trade turnover and to promote cooperation in the field of agriculture. They acknowledged the developments in economic cooperation, notably the success of the Lumitel Telecommunications joint venture with the engagement of Vietnam's VIET Group, which has made contributions to economic development while benefiting both nations' citizens. On regional and international issues of mutual concern, the two leaders agreed to enhance coordination, cooperation, and mutual support at international organizations and multilateral and inter-regional forums, particularly the United Nations and the Non-Aligned Movement. President Lương Cường proposed Burundi support ASEAN's stance on solving disputes by peaceful means on the basis of international law, particularly the 1982 UN Convention on the Law of the Sea, as well as ASEAN's efforts to build the East Sea into a sea of peace, stability, cooperation, and sustainable development. Following the talks, President Lương Cường and President Ndayishimiye witnessed the signing ceremony of two bilateral cooperation documents between the two countries. On the afternoon of April the 4th, President Ndayishimiye, his spouse, and the high-level delegation of Burundi visited the Vietnam Military History Museum. The delegation was welcomed by leaders of the Geopolitical Department of the Vietnam People's Army. In the museum's guest book, Burundi President wrote with emotion, "Imperialism has greatly hindered the development of humanity. Therefore, we expressed our gratitude to all the heroes who sacrificed their lives for national liberation. In particular, I congratulate the Vietnamese people for their courage in the struggle for independence. Together, the people always triumph." General Phan Van Giang, Minister of National Defense, led a delegation to visit and work with the Army War College on the morning of April the 4th. Inspecting the barracks, lecture halls, and campus of the school, General Phan Van Giang acknowledged the quality and regularity of the school's facilities. He highly appreciated the achievements of the school in recent times, which contributes to fostering and developing a contingent of competent faculty, especially younger ones. Minister Phan Van Giang emphasized that the Army War College, as a place honored to welcome Uncle 4 times, should further promote its some 80-year tradition to be a prestigious military science training and research center of the country. As occasion of the 50th anniversary of the South Liberation and National Reunification Day, as well as the 135th birth anniversary of President Ho Chi Minh, on the afternoon of April the 4th, General Nguyễn Tân Cương, Chief of the General Staff of the Vietnam People's Army and Deputy Defense Minister, held a meeting with 50 outstanding young pioneers and children in the period of 2023-2025 in Bình Dương Province during their visit to Phu Thọ Province and Hanoi capital. Wrote on a number of outstanding achievements of the youngsters and their opinions, General Nguyễn Tân Cương highly appreciated the sense of responsibility and dedication of the Bình Dương leaderships as well as the local teachers to develop a qualified education sector, especially in nurturing the younger generation. General Nguyễn Tân Cương hopes that the leaderships and functional agencies of Bình Dương Province will continue their favorable conditions and priority to develop the young ones in a comprehensive way so that they can become outstanding citizens in the future. Coming up next, Vietnam's FDI attraction has nearly $10.98 billion in the first quarter. Vietnam attends Startup Mahakumbh 2025 in India. According to the Foreign Investment Agency under the Ministry of Finance, Vietnam recorded nearly $10.98 billion in foreign direct investment during the first quarter of the year, marking a 35 year-on-year % increase. Foreign investment was spread across 50 provinces and cities, Bắc Ninh emerged as the top destination, followed by Ho Chi Minh City and Hanoi. Foreign investors pumped their capital into 18 out of 21 economic sectors, with industrial processing and manufacturing taking the lead by attracting more than $6.79 billion, an annual rise of 26%. Real estate ranked second with $2.39 billion, making up 21.8% of the total and surging 44% year-on-year. In the first 3 months, Singapore topped the list of 73 countries and territories investing in Vietnam with over $3 billion, or 27.6% of the total investment capital. This marked a 3.8% increase compared to the same period last year. The Republic of Korea ranked second with nearly $2.04 billion, recording a nearly 2.7-fold rise from last year. Other major investors included China, Japan, and Chinese Taiwan. Organized by the Indian Ministry of Commerce and Industry, India's Startup Mahakumbh 2025 kicked off on April 3rd at the Bharat Mandapam Exhibition and Convention Center in New Delhi. The 3-day event offers startups opportunities for funding, networking, and global connections. Attending Startup Mahakumbh for the first time, the Vietnamese delegation of 15 enterprises led by the National Startup Association brought their most unique services and products. The activity aligns with the Politburo Resolution No. 57 of promoting innovation, digital transformation, and entrepreneurship. The event is expected to help Vietnamese firms learn startup and digital transformation initiatives from India and other countries, assess innovation experiences of leading global enterprises, and introduce their startup products to the world. On every Home Kings Commemoration Day, no matter where they are, Vietnamese people turn their hearts to their roots with deep reverence. This spirit of unity has fought Vietnam's cultural identity and intrinsic strength that drives our nation forward. On this journey, there are people who, despite being far from home, are dedicated to spreading Vietnamese values to the world. Dr. Nguyễn Thị Bích Yến, a petite woman with a big dream, has devoted herself to the Vietnamese Global Ancestral Day project. Beyond promoting the Home Kings worship belief, this initiative serves as a bridge for international friends to better understand Vietnamese culture, patriotism, and the deep national pride of Vietnamese people across the globe. Overseas Vietnamese always long to honor their ancestors to stay connected to their homeland. I firmly believe that what comes from the heart goes to the heart. Once a writer and journalist in Vietnam, her deep attachment to her homeland remained unwavering even after settling in Asia. This unyielding love drives her to promote Vietnam's image worldwide. That remarkable woman is Dr. Nguyễn Thị Bích Yến, the founder of the Global Vietnamese National Ancestral Day project. Our mission is first to foster national unity by preserving the worship of the Home Kings abroad, while collaborating with other nations to safeguard their tangible and intangible heritage. Secondly, to promote intercultural connections between Vietnam and the world. Third, to hold international scientific conferences that showcase Vietnam's cultural image, values, and virtues globally. That is the mission we have set. Since 2015, Dr. Nguyễn Thị Bích Yến, alongside intellectuals and overseas Vietnamese worldwide, has enshrined Home King statue in over 10 countries, including Canada, Germany, the Czech Republic, Japan, Russia, Poland, and Ukraine. Every year, the project hosts offline and online ceremonies and honors the descendants of the Home King, connecting Vietnamese expatriates and international friends from nearly 50 countries and territories. With her tireless dedication and utmost efforts, Dr. Nguyễn Thị Bích Yến has become an important bridge connecting the Vietnamese community around the world. Her persistent efforts help many generations of overseas Vietnamese better comprehend their origin and preserve their national identity wherever they are. Dr. Nguyễn Thị Bích Yến is wholehearted to her ancestor and nation and wants to spread values and roots of the fatherland to all overseas Vietnamese. This project plays a crucial role in connecting the great national solidarity of flag home descendants born from the same mother and father in the same nation.
Ý tưởng về ngày quốc tổ
The idea of founding the Vietnam Ancestral Global Day carries a profound meaning on the nation and the country. In addition, it is of great significance in connecting and spreading the most essential values of the Vietnamese culture and nation to the world, and especially to the fellow countrymen in foreign countries. And from those Vietnamese people living far from the homeland, we serve as a bridge to connect, to spread the good values of our people and culture to friends around the world. The Vietnam Ancestral Global Day was held in Poland, Germany, Japan, Laos, Thailand, and even in the US. It can be said that there is the great effort of those who organize this heartfelt event around the world. But I think the first merit goes to a petite and pretty Vietnamese girl who is representing the literature and arts newspaper in Asia, Bích Yến. I was born into a peace-loving nation. From this origin, we will sooner or later come back to our homeland. Whatever comes from the heart, I strongly believe that it will touch the heart. It is the end of the English News Bulletin today. You can always watch the news again at KPVN.vn. Goodbye and see you next time.